Good, happy Tuesday morning, February 18, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's begin. First up, proposed bill would require some New Hampshire insurance plans to cover abortions. Plans offering maternity services would need to cover abortion services. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
Tomorrow, state lawmakers will consider whether to require some insurance providers to cover abortion services. A Senate bill known as the Reproductive Health Parity Act will go before a committee.
Large self-funded employers who are regulated federally, this bill would have no impact.
Bill sponsor Cindy Rosenwald says it would only affect some policies. Under the proposal, if commercial insurance plans and health insurance marketplace plans offer maternity services, then they would also need to cover abortions.
Decisions should be made by patients and doctors, not by politicians and unelected bureaucrats.
Rosenwald says it would protect people from 2 proposals by the Trump administration that would make it harder for insurance plans to cover abortion.
So we'd be joining some of our neighbors in New England and some other states.
The unborn are people, and they deserve civil rights. And so there's a lot of people who disagree with this.
Jason Hennessy of New Hampshire Right to Life says if the bill passes, some who are pro-life may choose to not have health insurance because they're strongly opposed to abortion.
In the New Hampshire Constitution, we have a right of conscience in Article 4. And we believe that this is a clear violation by forcing people to pay for something that they really, really heartily disagree with.
The Commerce Committee could vote on this bill as soon as tomorrow, but it has about a month to make a decision. Reporting live in Concord, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Child kidnapped in Boston, car theft found in Randolph. Police search for stolen vehicle. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
The New Hampshire Department of Corrections has immediate openings for corrections officers. Apply today.
That kidnapped child was actually dropped off right here behind me in tears. We spoke with the woman who found her and kept her safe until police arrived. We saw officers carrying away that 5-year-old girl to be checked out at the hospital. She is safe and appears unharmed. Now, Boston police say the girl was kidnapped from Dorchester around 4 o'clock today. Sources telling 5 Investigates her father ran into a store, leaving his car running, his daughter in the back seat, and his phone also in that car. The car was stolen with the child inside. Police were able to track the car using the dad's phone, and then that suspect drove here, leaving the girl in the street and then taking off.
The little girl looked like she was crying, so, I ran outside and I asked if she was all right. She said, "I want my dad." I got a call from the police station from the little girl's phone. She had a phone on her, and it was Boston police, and do you have such and such? And they identified the child's name, and I was like, kidnapped? What do you mean kidnapped? So we were able to have the police come and check her out. She was fine, and I'm so happy that she's okay.
Now that woman saying that she was in the right place at the right time, but again, police are still searching for that stolen car and the suspect. The car is described as a 2007 Honda Accord, silver with tinted windows. The license plate is US 117D. Again, if you see that car, call police. Live in Randolph, Sean Shiabat, WCVB News Center.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Community steps up to help after Enfield business destroyed in fire. Fundraisers held to help owner of Chase's Auto Salvage. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
My goodness, we lost everything. I mean, everything, this was the main business right here.
This place has been Dick Chase's life's work. Chase's Auto Salvage has been a family-owned and operated business in Enfield since the 50s, but it all went up in flames on January 31st.
Well, I started up here with my own vehicle, then I looked up in the sky and see it glow. Well, I'm on the fire department, been on 45 years, so I know what that meant. So I turned around and went back down and got the fire truck.
Dick Chase says it took about 5 hours to bring the fire under control, and when it was done, there was a pile of ash and debris about 4 feet tall, and it took 6 of these dumpsters to haul it all away. Chase had fire insurance until a few years ago, but dropped that part of his policy because it was too expensive. He was hoping to sell the place and retire, but not now. He estimates the losses at $300,000, but the community has stepped in. Members of the fire department rebuilt part of the office so they can operate on a limited basis, and other fundraisers have been organized to help them get back on their feet.
I knew that they were a really good family. They've been in the community forever. Dick Chase has given a lot to his community. He's a veteran. He's put his whole life into this business.
There's a GoFundMe page and a spaghetti dinner and raffle scheduled for the end of the month. Chase isn't sure if he'll be able to completely rebuild, but with the support he's gotten, he says he owes it to everyone to try. In Enfield, Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thousands of families head to New Hampshire to hit the slopes. School vacation week brings many families. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
It's school vacation week for many families, making ski areas like King Pine and Madison a busy place to be.
It's so beautiful. The sun is out, and it's just the perfect temperature.
It's fun. It's like a little family ski resort. It's quite lovely.
The mountain has seen more than 45 inches of snow this season.
Right now, this week, we're certainly enjoying some of the recent natural snowfall because we have 100% of all of our amenities and activities going, including the Nordic Trail Network, the snowshoeing, the lift service, snow tubing, the enclosed ice skating rink. So there's a lot going on here this week.
Just in time to greet thousands of people from Massachusetts, New York, Maine, and beyond. And this influx in skiers is expected to stick around into next week when it's school vacation week here in the Granite State.
February vacation is definitely a peak time for us. We do about 20% of our business, so we do really look forward to a strong vacation period. And with the snow for tomorrow and the bluebird skies for the rest of the week, we should see a really strong week.
And to help celebrate, several ski areas like Cranmore and Conway have extended hours and special events.
Through the whole vacation week, we're open until 8 with night skiing, and in addition to skiing and riding, we do have our tubing and mountain adventure park open daily during the vacation period.
And so far, people are loving the conditions.
Music, snow, it's nice, the sun's out, so it's a good day.
I like how, you can, do tricks and you can go fast, and I just enjoy skiing.
Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Search continues for man convicted in connection with officer's 1997 death. Kevin Paul last contacted parole officer February 9th, officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino.
The New Hampshire Community Loan Fund is tackling some of the Granite State's most urgent needs, like affordable housing for our state's working families, seniors, and young people. Your donation to the Capital Impact Challenge can have a profound impact. Give today.
A warrant was issued for Kevin Paul last Friday, February 14th, but News 9 Investigates has learned the last contact Paul had with his parole officer was February 9th, 5 days before the warrant was issued. He called his parole officer claiming his GPS monitoring bracelet was not working. Attempts to contact Kevin Paul by his parole officer and Sentinel, the GPS monitoring company, were unsuccessful. The U.S. Marshal's Office is now part of the manhunt to locate Paul, who was paroled back in 2015, but arrested 5 months later on gun and drug charges and put back in prison. Police say Paul is known to have firearms and is considered dangerous. He's about 5'9", 165 pounds, with blue eyes and brown hair. Police say Paul could be in one of 3 cars: a 2015 white Ford Fusion, a 2012 silver Dodge Avenger, or a 2005 silver Honda Accord. All have Tennessee license plates. The U.S. Marshal's Office says tips have been coming in from the public, and they are following up on every lead. Paul is likely being helped by someone, and officials say anyone helping an escaped convict is subjected to felony charges. And tonight, several state and law enforcement officers are questioning why Kevin Paul was even granted parole a second time. He was denied parole in May of 2019, but then the board voted to release him on parole in September of 2019. There are 66 parole and probation officers that serve the entire state of New Hampshire. They average about 100 cases per officer. We're live in Manchester this evening. Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Identity released of suspected carjacker shot, killed by police. Police say man stole BMW from Nashua dealership and drove to Massachusetts. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
The New Hampshire Community Loan Fund is tackling some of the Granite State's biggest problems, like the shortage of quality, affordable childcare and early education. Your donation to the Capital Impact Challenge can have a profound impact. Give today.
Authorities in Massachusetts say 31-year-old Thomas Murray of Dracut is the man behind a carjacking spree that spanned 2 states.
Employees of Tully BMW in Nashua were his last victims when he showed up to the Daniel Webster Highway location Sunday night.
This one time we ran into the wrong guy.
They say Murray pretended to be a customer and wanted to look at a vehicle for his parents.
We gave the benefit of the doubt again, and we kind of were in for a shock.
It was during that showing when employees say Murray attacked.
It was terrifying, and there was a lot of adrenaline at the time, and I saw him, kind of started to wrestle with the client advisor, and that's where we kind of all try to go out and help him out.
A scuffle took place, and that's when police say Murray slashed an employee with a knife. He is expected to be okay.
And he started, swinging his knife around. It was time to let him go.
Police later tracked down the stolen SUV in Newbury, Mass.
He attempted to escape by ramming the BMW into the police cruiser. A weapon was discharged by an officer or more than one officer. That's yet to be determined.
And now police say Murray arrived here to the dealership in a vehicle that he carjacked down in Lowell, Massachusetts earlier that day. They add he is also the same person responsible for carjacking in North Andover, Massachusetts on Saturday, and they believe he is the same person involved in a car theft down in Boston on that same day. We're live here in Nashua tonight. I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. U.S. features down more than 100 points after Apple issues revenue warning. U.S. stock index features were slightly lower Tuesday morning. How to travel safely in wake of coronavirus and flu season. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Well, planes, trains, and buses help us get around, but they're also some of the easiest places to get sick. With cases of coronavirus raising concerns, and let's not forget it's flu season, how do we stay safe while traveling? Gio Benitez has more.
As more than 75 million Americans are expected to travel this month by air alone, Dr. Nick Testa, Chief Medical Officer at Dignity Health in Los Angeles, reminds us on this fake plane at Air Hollywood how to stay healthy when taking to the skies.
On an airplane, you have almost a 100-time increase from contracting a respiratory illness.
Think about this. A plane flying a typical New York to Washington, D.C. route makes about 5 flights per day. So that means at least 4 strangers are touching your table tray, shade, armrest, and air vent. According to one study, a tray table has 12 times more bacteria, harmful or not, per inch than your toilet seat at home.
So if we bring a wipe, we want to wipe it down with us, clean off the tray and table.
And air on board is circulated from ceiling to floor, filtered every 2 minutes. If a flu carrier sneezes, watch this simulation done for Popular Science. Those passengers, because of the airflow to the sides and behind the sides, are most at risk. But it's not just planes. When it comes to buses,
You probably don't even realize how many things you're touching when you get on the bus. You'll present your fare, you'll touch that, you'll touch these steel bars. Of course, you're going to grab on to these straps, and when you sit down, you'll touch the steel again. And of course, you will pull that cable to request a stop.
And Dr. Testa says, move to the back if there are less people there, staying close to that exit door where air circulates.
The reason is that the way that we get sick is because we're crowded together, we're rebreathing each other's air.
He says your seat selection can sometimes help protect you, and on trains too.
If you sit in the window seat, you actually decrease your chances for getting sick because there are less people walking by you.
How far can germs really travel?
If you were to sneeze right now, what would happen?
I can create a cloud of virus around me that extends 12 feet. So that's the people in front of me, the people behind me, and you, the person next to me.
And even the people on the other side.
Absolutely.
That's why Dr. Testa says, cut the small talk.
Even by speaking, they might expose you.
Correct. Just by speaking, you can introduce virus into the air. So I recommend decreasing the small talk when you're sitting next to anyone on the train. Hi, everyone. George.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your morning, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.